A gentle autumn morning unfolded across the Scottish countryside. Golden sunlight slipped through the branches, painting the small garden behind the old stone cottage in soft amber hues. Inside, Sam Heughan, the beloved star of Outlander, had just shared a new series of photos online that instantly stirred the hearts of his fans. In those pictures, Sam and his wife Caitriona Balfe appeared not as celebrities, but as two souls enjoying an ordinary perfect day. No red carpets, no studio lights, just love, quiet, authentic, and deeply human. What a wonderful day, Sam captioned the first photo one that showed him and Caitriona laughing together in their cozy kitchen. She wore a cream-colored sweater, her hair loosely tied, her smile bright as morning. Sam stood by the counter, clearly struggling with the coffee maker. "She always laughs when I mess things up," he wrote playfully. The next snapshot captured them, walking hand in hand around a misty lakeside path, their dog Fergus happily trotting ahead. Caitriona leaned her head gently on Sam's shoulder, her face peaceful, her eyes half closed in contentment. "We don't need much," Sam shared, "just each other." Lunch was simple: pumpkin soup and cheese toast prepared by Caitriona herself. Sam photographed her ladling soup into a bowl, sunlight falling perfectly through the kitchen window. The scene looked like something out of a painting. "She's the best cook I know," he wrote. Not just because of the food, but because of the love she pours into every detail. In the afternoon, they sat together in the living room, each lost in a book. Caitriona stretched across the sofa. Sam sat beside her, his hand resting gently on her leg. The silence between them was warm, complete. "We've learned to enjoy silence," Sam confided. "It's our own language of love." As the day faded, they moved to the garden, sitting beneath the old oak tree. 2 glasses of wine, the scent of fallen leaves, the distant hum of evening birds. Soft music played in the background, and when the melody swelled, Caitriona stood, offered her hand, and whispered, "Dance with me." There was no audience, no performance, just 2 hearts moving to a rhythm only they could hear. "I've danced with her hundreds of times on screen," Sam wrote, "but it never felt as real as it did today." When twilight deepened, they returned inside and opened their journals, something they'd done every night since their wedding. Each wrote down 3 things they were grateful for. Sam wrote, 1. Morning coffee with Kate. 2. Walking with Fergus. 3. Sunset dance. Caitriona's list read, 1. Sam's smile when he spilled coffee. 2. Pumpkin soup. 3. Reading together. Within hours, Sam's post had gathered millions of likes and comments. Fans from around the world were moved by the purity of their love. One wrote, "You don't need a movie to believe in true love, just a day like this." Sam ended his post simply, "Happiness doesn't live in big things. It hides in the small moments we share with the person we love." And it's true. In a world obsessed with fame and noise, Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe have built their own quiet sanctuary, a life not defined by glamour but by sincerity. That evening, the little house glowed softly against the darkening sky. The warm yellow light from the living room spilled onto the patio, where they sat wrapped together in a wool blanket, listening to the wind rustling through the trees. Fergus curled up at their feet, occasionally raising his head as if to make sure everything was still okay. Sam turned to Caitriona and murmured, "I never thought I'd have a day this peaceful." She smiled, her hand finding his. "That's because we've had enough days that weren't." Later, they flipped through the day's photos, laughing at Sam's coffee mishap, at the moment Fergus tugged too hard on the leash. Every picture told a story, imperfect, yet precious. Before bed, Sam wrote one last line in his diary. "Thank you for choosing me every single day." Caitriona read. It smiled softly and leaned on his shoulder. No flowery words, no lavish gestures, just presence, understanding, and gratitude. That's what made their love extraordinary. A wonderful day, not because something grand had happened, but because they had lived every moment together. And when the lights finally dimmed, all that remained was the sound of steady breathing and two hearts beating in rhythm. Quiet proof that real happiness is found not in perfection, but in love that endures. As the last candle flickered out, the soft hum of the Scottish wind drifted through the open window. Sam glanced once more at the old oak tree outside, the same tree where they had danced hours earlier, now glowing faintly under the moonlight. He smiled to himself. Maybe one day, he thought, when all the scripts are written and all the lights have dimmed, this will be the story that matters most, not the one on screen, but the one we live. Caitriona, half asleep beside him, whispered something he almost didn't catch. "Promise me we'll keep this." Sam squeezed her hand gently. "Always," he said. "Even when the world changes, we'll keep this." Outside, the wind carried their laughter into the quiet night, mingling with the rustle of the trees. Tomorrow, the cameras might start rolling again, and the world would call them back to the noise and glamour of fame. But tonight was theirs alone. And somewhere between the silence and the heartbeat, between love and memory, their story kept writing itself one golden autumn day at a time.